That's a nice thing to turn on the video too. All right, sorry about the bell in your ear, guys, if you're listening to this from home. We are going to today do a couple on 1-3, and we're going to update our note card with the 1-3 stuff. If you haven't started a note card yet, you really should, because you get to use it in geometry on your tests. So instead of cramming it all in the day before a test, we're going to put it in as we go. So if you don't have a note card started, you should pause this video and go find a blank sheet of paper. We're just going to go add one quick statement to it, and then with the ones in class today, we're going to see if they have any questions on the front. Maybe do that, and then we're going to head to the back and do some, because they said they got a lot of the front done. Is that right, guys? Yeah, so we're not going to focus a ton on the front. I might do one for you guys on the front after they go to enter theirs on Schoology, so that we're not wasting their time. But first of all, on your note card, write 1.3. And I'm just going to put it at the top of this worksheet. You should be on a note card, and it's on the segment. I'm just going to write seg, addition postulate. So I'm going to write add postulate, and we're saving some space on that note card. And it's a really easy one to use because it makes sense. And so what I want you to do is draw yourself a line segment that has a dot at both ends and a dot in the middle. And then what we're going to do with that line segment is we're going to put 3 letters on it. We're going to call them A, B, and C. So maybe A is Elk River, and we drive to Zimmerman, which is B, and that's what, about 7 miles maybe, right? Yeah. And then we go from Zimmerman to Princeton, which is about, I don't know, 10 miles. All this says is that to get the whole way across, you add the 2 pieces. In notation, it says this, from A to B, how long it is, plus from B to C, equals the whole way across. Just a second, I'm going to put my shield on. I'm talking into a mask here. It's getting sweaty. The whole way across. But sometimes when it's in that notation like that, what we decided with yesterday's group is it worked a little better if instead of thinking from A to B, they think of one piece. So sometimes in this class when we do stuff, we're going to take the variables out because they make things look messy. And by one piece, I mean this piece of the line segment plus the other piece. So we said, and no matter what you're given, you say one piece plus the other piece, that would be the squiggly part, is equal to the whole thing, and the whole way across. When it's numbers, it's super easy, okay? When it goes algebra, it gets a little harder. Does that make sense? So there's only one other thing on the note card I want you to put down, and again, I know I'm on this worksheet, I just don't want to turn my page, but sometimes I'll tell you, and I bet, I'm wondering if these guys in here might have had a question about this, but sometimes they'll tell you that this piece isn't just anywhere, it's right smack in the middle. And if they tell you it's right smack in the middle, then you don't need to know all the way across. So for on this one, suppose this was 6, this was 10, the whole way across is 16. Correct? Yeah. Sometimes though they'll say this is in the middle. And what that means is if this is 6, then this is also 6. Does that make sense? Yeah. So really you would say one piece equals the other piece if you're doing the algebra. So that's it for your note card, because we like to keep it nice and clean so that if on your test it says use the segment addition postulate, you can go, oh, okay, that's where I add the pieces together. Or okay, if it's in the middle, I set them equal to each other. So with the kids I have in here right now, we're going to go to the front and I'm going to ask them if they need me to go over any on the front. If their answer is no, for those of you at home, I'll still do one, but when I'm done working on the back of it with them. So you guys in here, are there any on the front you left blank? Number 12. Great. So we're going to go do 12. Did you get number 12? No. Perfect. So we have both. That means you guys at home are probably going to struggle on number 12 as well. So the first thing we want to do is take a look at where we're going. We're going from G to H, then from H to I. So that's like Elk River to Zimmerman, and then Zimmerman to Princeton. We're going to go put that on a line segment. Actually, let's put it up here because there's not much room for this one. So we're going from G to H, and they didn't say H is in the middle. So I'm going to make that one longer just so you don't assume it's in the middle, because I didn't say that. All right? Then we're going to go label those pieces. We're going to call the first piece 7y plus 3. That's one of the pieces. And then we're going to call the second piece 3y minus 5. And then they're giving me the whole way from G to I. So I like to go like this, so I know I'm going the whole way. And that's 9y plus 7. I'm going to let you get that drawn. And once these guys in here are looking up at me, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to assume you guys at home had enough time to write that down. So we're good. Now, had this just been a 6 and this a 4, the whole way across is 10. It's easy with the numbers. But with the algebra, you have to use what we wrote on the note card. We said one of the pieces, we're going to go this one, plus the other piece. What do you think I consider the other piece? What do you think? One of the pieces plus the other piece. This one equals the whole way, yeah. So plus the other piece. So it's like you're driving down the highway. That piece of the road plus the other length or mileage has to equal the whole way. What do you think I consider the whole way on this one? What do you think I'm going to set it equal to, Iris? There, she's got it. Now, this is why you guys did that algebra review to start off with in this class, so that once your geometry was done, you could do the algebra. So we're going to combine our like terms. We have 7y's and we have 3y's. So we have 10y's. And then we've got 3 and we've got minus 5. Use a calculator if you need to, but we always combine like terms on both sides. There's nothing to combine over here on the right. All right, are you guys, am I going too fast or just right? So now my problem is, man, is I've got the y stuck on both sides. So do you guys remember what you need to do with the algebra before? You need to move something over, right? Yep, so did you say minus 9? Why?
No,
What? Not yet. Nope, I need to move this 9y over onto this side. And it's positive, so I'm going to subtract it from here. And subtract it from over here. We have to get that variable on one side of the equation. And then I also have 10y's, right? Minus 9y's. So I only have one y left over here. So I'm just going to write y minus 2. And these are going to go, that's why we chose to do it, equals 7. And then how do I solve this? Just one last thing I need to do. What is it? Add 2. Excellent. So I get, if you didn't hear, she said add 2. So I get y equals 9. Be careful you don't go to Schoology and type a 9 in, because that'd be really sad if you got all this right and you don't get credit for it. Because, oh, well, actually for this question, you would type a 9 in. So if they ask you for 12a, it's 9. But if they ask you for 12b, you got to be a little careful, because now you have to find the length from G to H. So you have to take that 9 and you have to go stuff it in on a calculator in your head. And you have to do 9 in for y. So you have to do 7 times 9 plus 3. Because that's what it says from G to H is 7 times the y plus 3. 9 times 7 is 63, plus 3 is 66. So be careful whether you're asked for the variable or one of the pieces. Does that make sense, you two who are in here? So were there any others on the front, or do you guys need to go to the back? You're good with the front? All right, we'll go to the back then, and then if you, Matt, need something on the front, we'll go back, because I am going to do one of these for the people at home, so if you need help on the bottom. So let's go to this page. I'm going to erase my note card here. One thing you need to know is what this word congruent means. It means they're the same length. So did you need help on 16, 17, or 18, or were you good on those? Were you good on those, Matt? All right, so we'll do one of them together. So from G to 8, we're going to count how long it is. I told kids yesterday, don't use any formula. Just hop on here and just take steps. 1 step, 2 step, 3 steps, 4 steps. That was 4 steps for me to walk from G to H. From H to I, I'm going to start at H right here, and I'm going to take steps. 1 step. Sorry, my marker did show. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps, 4 steps. Because they were the same amount of steps, they are congruent. Yeah, oh, that's all. I mean, there's a formula for doing it where you take the absolute value and you subtract and stuff, but I think you should just step, just walk. Then you don't have to memorize a formula. All right, Iris, which one do you want help on here?
I don't have the rest on that page.
So should we go try 19 so you have one of them? Okay. It says, suppose the coordinate of point P is 2. So we're going to put a P here. And I'm going to go put it on a number line. And it's at 2. That's what they mean by the coordinate. Did you kind of wonder, what are they talking about? The coordinate of point P is 2. It means that it's sitting at 2 on a number line. It says from P to Q is 8. And from P to R is 12. So do you see how it's going to take you longer to get from P to Q than it's going to take you to get from P to R? So it says, what are the possible coordinates of the midpoint of the segment given? So watch. From P to Q is 8. So we're going to take 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 steps, right? So it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is right here, is where Q is. Iris, does that make sense why it's out at 10? Because it says from P to Q is 8 steps, or a length of 8. It wants the midpoint of that. So it wants the number that's right smack in the middle. So 1 step forward, 1 step backwards, 1 step forward, 1 step backwards, 1 step forward, 1 step backwards. Here's the middle. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 is right in the middle. Does that make sense, Iris?
Yes.
Now watch, we can go do 20 as well, because it says from P all the way to R is 12. So I have to take 12 steps, right? But Iris, look, I already took 8 steps, right? Don't you agree? I already took 8. So 9, 10, 11, 12. Does that make sense? So now I've got from P to Q is 8 steps, and from P to R I had to go 4 more steps. So I'm at 14. Take a look. 8 steps, checks, boom. And 12 steps, check, boom. So it wants the midpoint of PR. What's right smack in the middle of 2 and 14? You know? If you don't know, I'll give you a quick way to figure it out. It's like you average them. Do you guys know how to find an average? What do you do with the numbers? You're going to find the average of these two. What do you do with them? You will divide. By how many there are. There are 2 of them. So if I average 2 numbers, I'm going to add these 2 up and get 16 and then divide it by 2. So you always add the 2 and divide by 2. See right here, I could have just done 2 plus 10 is 12 divided by 2 to get 6. Then I'm not walking all those steps. So what's right smack in the middle? 16 over 2, which is 8. All right? What do you think? So I'm going to have those you guys go finish it up, okay? While I record one on the front for the distance learners, and then I'll come help you. Don't submit your quiz until I make sure that you have most of them right, okay? So what time are we done with you guys? At 11:20? Yeah, so you should be able to, in about 15 minutes, finish that up and go enter the quiz. For sure you, Iris, because you just have a few left, right? To be honest, I doubt they're going to ask you 22, and that's harder than what you'll be tested on, so be okay if you don't finish that one, okay? I don't focus on the hardest ones. I like to focus on the type you're going to be tested on, and because of that, those of you at home, you for sure have to do one like these in here, and you for sure have to do one like these in here. So we're going to go do number 13 together. Matt, you might want to do this with me if you didn't do 13 yet. Okay, Iris, you should be good, but just look up when I'm done and check if you got it right. So first thing I'm going to do is hop on here and put what it says on my picture. So from K to L is 3x plus 2 steps. So I'm going to go like this, from K to L, and I'm going to label that 3x plus 2. That's one of the pieces. 3x plus 2 gets me red dot to red dot. From L to M isn't the whole way across, it's the other piece. So I'm going to go on to this other piece from the L on over to M and label it 5x minus 10. So it says on, you might be, well, I don't know what the whole way is. This is the kind where they told you that that's in the middle. So if you go to your note card, what we wrote is that if this is in the middle, then this piece, if that's 7, this is 7. If this is 10, this is 10 miles. If it's in the middle, they're the same. So what you do is you set from your note card, we wrote you set one piece, the 3x plus 2. If that's in the middle, the 3x plus 2 is going to have to equal the other piece, which is the 5x minus 10. My smartboard's on a little bit of delay because I have Desmos open and I'm recording, and so for some reason it's not writing. Oh, there we go. So we're going to set 3x plus 2 equal to, I'm hoping it'll pop up here, but if not, just do it 5x minus 10. I'm going to wait. It's on a lag. I have too many windows open, but go ahead and set 3x plus 2 equal to 5x minus 10. It's really weird. And then you need to solve that for x. So you're going to need to get the variable on one side. There's no like terms in red. There's no like terms in black. So we're going to move these x's over by subtracting them from both sides. It'll get rid of them over here. And we'll get 2 is equal to, we subtract 5x's minus 3x's is 2x's. We add 10 to both sides, right? Iris, did you get, when you divided by 2, did you get an x of 6?
Yeah.
She got an x of 6, but be careful, because if number 13 is on your homework quiz and you type in a 6, you're going to get it wrong, because it doesn't say to find x. It says to find from K to L. So from K to L, remember this, I put my dot on L, but from K to L is the red piece. So you need to go take this 6, walk it on over, put it in here, and do 3 times it. So 3 times 6 is 18, plus 2 is 20. So 13's on your homework quiz, you're going to enter a 20. All right, so that's it, and I'm going to try to do these each day so that when you're not here, you can at least see what the other group did in class. So tomorrow I'll be posting help with 1.4. So we're always going to be on a 1-day lag until we get up to the test. All right, so that's it. I'm going to go help the ones in here enter their answers. Have a good one.